Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you. We are covering the case of Sebastian Rogers. He's been missing from his home since February 26, 2024. According to everything that we have learned about this case, Sebastian Rogers was last seen on February 25, 2024, while dining with his mother at a local steak restaurant known as the Texas Roadhouse. Allegedly, he left the Texas Roadhouse about 6:22 to 6:25 in the evening, and they proceeded their way home. We do have audio information confirming that Sebastian did in fact arrive to his house on Stafford Court the evening of Sunday, February 25th. Around 6 a.m. on February 26th, his mother allegedly awoke, went to go wake up her son, and found his bed empty. After looking around the home for several minutes, she ended up calling her husband, which was allegedly 3.5 hours away in Memphis, Tennessee, at what is dubbed the St. Jude's Project. Since then, the roads were filled up with a lot of law enforcement. A huge and massive search effort went underway to find Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. They ended up within 24 hours releasing an Amber Alert. We're learning a lot about these Amber Alert system and the strict criteria needed to get a person on the Amber Alert. So how is it Sebastian got on this Amber Alert without evidence of an abduction 24 hours after he was reported missing? These are a lot of questions that we have no answers to as we're working this case. What I can tell you is their statements have changed wildly. Here are a few examples of the wild changes.
Was his ask, would he be able to ride a city bus?
Nothing is off the table as far as abilities. Could the young man get on a bus? I'm sure he could.
We've never done it before.
We've never rode a city bus, so I don't think he understands the process. He doesn't have any sense of money. He may have, like, let's say a $20 bill in his hand, but he doesn't truly understand what $20 would get him.
He's good
Right.
at it, but he doesn't
I understand.
Time and money.
It seems awfully funny that, he just can't seem to take care of himself. He doesn't really know much. But when we hear his father talk about him, Seth Rogers, he describes his son more capable than we've ever heard. He says his son is so capable, he goes fishing, he can shoot a gun. There's a lot of stuff that Sebastian does that, from the information we had from the mom and stepfather, we wouldn't believe. And just recently, after the 1-year milestone of this young man being missing, the mom and stepdad come out and say there was a misunderstanding about their son and his capabilities. That's kind of odd. Let's listen to that.
With his autism, is there anything else that we should add that you want the public to know right now?
I would say that he is what they would consider high functioning. He's not, he doesn't struggle with verbal communication, but he does, he does struggle sometimes with expressing himself is, I guess, the best way that I could put that. But he's so smart and he's so capable, and that I think the initial image of him that was portrayed was misleading to an extent.
Yes, very much misleading to an extent. They're the ones that were feeding the public the information about their son. So why were they being so dubious in explaining the capabilities he had early on? They treated him, or put him into the minds of the people looking for him, that he had an infant's mind. And that is completely untrue. We're going to be diving into this and more today on the Bullhorn Betty channel.
I struggle to put words to how it feels, honestly. The amount of ups and downs, the amount of possible leads that haven't panned out. I miss him so much.
So at this point, it's keep searching. People keep looking.
Keep searching, keep looking. We keep putting up new flyers. I know a lot of places, they take them down after so long. We just keep going back and putting more up. I refer to my original request just to anyone that's willing. Don't Don't let him become forgotten. Don't let him become lost in the next story, not to supersede other children, because they all deserve just as much, if not more, attention, because all children do. But I would say just please don't let him become forgotten and lost, because we're never gonna stop. We're never gonna let that happen if we can help it.
And I hope you stick around to learn a little more about these mysterious statements from the mom and stepdad and the recanting thereof. God bless. Is working today. I hear this little birdie this morning telling me it's somebody's birthday. Is it somebody's birthday here? I was hearing a little birdie saying somebody has been blessed to walk the earth since before bread was invented or the grains of sand were ever seen. I'm just joking, Lisa. I'm just joking. We're going to sing Lisa a happy birthday. Lisa B. always been a great family member on this channel for quite some time, has helped us, sent us some information. One of the reasons why we have a good understanding of Chris and Katie's parenting style. She was the one that let us know that she believed they were trying to discipline him into normalcy. And I gotta agree. So let's sing happy birthday to Lisa. It's her birthday. So happy birthday, Miss Lisa. Happy birthday. Happy real birthday to you. Happy real birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lisa B. always. Happy real birthday to you. I think I'm a little lightheaded. I think it might be a little lightheaded over here. Now I can see. Hey, guys! Well, hello there. I'm Bullhorn Betty. I cover true crime. You wouldn't know it with this thing here. Well, it's nice to see you, Lisa. Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful day. Now it's time to get started on the who? L-I-A-R. You a liar. We're going to get started on the lies, pants on fires. And who are they? They are Chris and Katie Proudfoot. I'm sorry. Hashtag Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Hashtag Christopher Proudfoot. Hashtag Katie Proudfoot. Hashtag Sumner County can kiss Betty's big old fat booty. Hashtag. What? I didn't do nothing. Because we think the county, well, we think Mr. Sheriff Snuggle is what? Bullshit level, DEFCON 5. I wonder why he ain't getting his raise. I just don't understand. Maybe it has something to do with that big, beautiful package I sent over to Congress, right? Because we have him on tape talking about his are you a resident of this county? Well, I can tell you the federal government doesn't like that kind of poontang. at all. But there has been major budget cuts all the way around. But, the ones that are hit the hardest probably are the budget cuts there in Sumner County, because at the end of the day, I don't have to do crap. I have politicians on my channels. Politicians that can do crap and make life very difficult for people, especially people that violate federal law, especially sheriffs that violate federal law, and especially sheriffs that have detectives putting false information on affidavits. Trust me, people are paying attention and people know. Now, I don't know why Sumner County Sheriff, a sheriff that hasn't even been there, but a blink of an eye, begging the county for more funds, for raises for just the management. Their management is shit. Sheriff Snuggle struggles. Seems to think the big fat RAPED is just a horrible term for a little snuggle struggle. That's the sheriff in Sumner County. And that's the same sheriff that has no balls or backbone to face a father that's been searching for his son. So much so that Bullhorn Betty and the other true crime people that actually give a shit about this kid are actually going around him to set up an event in front of the governor, just to let him know we're not funding their sheriff until Eric Craddock is out of office. Period. Period. I will tell you that. That's going to be my mission, to cause as much financial problems from the federal government to Sumner County as humanly possible. Because I do a diplomatic approach. You want to arrest me? Okay. Well, hi, Sheriff Craddock. Hi, Sheriff Craddock. And trust me, this is not something that Bullhorn Betty has the power to do by herself. So I had a lot of support. Just saying. Anyways, Skits, it's nice to see you. Good morning to our beautiful birthday girl, Lisa B. Always. If I can get my little thingy to work here. We got Bullhorn Betty up in chat. We've got Skits, Don. Good morning. Kathleen, Danielle. Good morning. Good morning, Laura. Isn't it funny that we go into to Chatham County? Now, after I left, I let it go. Probably should have pursued it more, but we had the chief of police out the door, taking an early retirement. That was, downplayed by the hate channels, but there's a lot of work people don't see that I do behind the scenes. Okay, there is a reason why you guys see me just for very few hours a day, but I'm always swamped with work. There is things that you guys do not know that I do for political purposes and other purposes, because I am a political person, okay? I want to change the culture we have in our society. I want to level the playing field for the have-nots in our society. And I want to make sure that we have functioning laws for our policing departments. Okay. One thing I can't stand more than anything in this world is corruption. It's a bad cop. Okay. Everybody has been watching me, knows how I feel about it. I believe that there are bad apples in the law enforcement across this country. Just some rotten, bad apples that give the rest of the good officers bad names. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous when you have bad apples in police departments running crap and doing corrupt practices. You're putting other people that wear the badge in harm's way. So I want the corruption the hell out of our policing departments across this country. I want the incompetents retrained. And I want the great and good cops to be promoted into the positions to run and keep people in line. But the first key ingredient is getting the garbage out of law enforcement. Sheriff Snuggle struggles is garbage. He needs to be taken out, okay? And I mean that in a very above board way, politically. He needs to be taken out politically. We do not believe in violence here. I am a human being. I am an animal. So I do have violent tendencies, just like every other one of you guys. But we are civilized animals, so we learn to control ourselves, okay? So we're in a situation here where we've got a sheriff with his hands out. What has he done to receive a raise? Has he got accommodations? Has he saved a child? Has he found a child that's been lost in his community for over a year? No, the answer is no. He's a failure. A big old fat failure. And let's not mistake. I haven't been to their county meetings yet. Okay? I haven't started going. The key statement in there, I haven't started. That's the key statement. One thing that this county didn't realize when they arrested a very much a political advocate and activist that is United States known. When you violated my First Amendment right and continue to violate my Second Amendment right, I'm not a happy camper. And when you make it difficult for me to address you in a diplomatic measure, it takes other processes to get you to listen. So now we're tired of trying to get Mr. Snuggle Struggles to listen. We are just going to get him fired. We're going to make sure that the people of that county know they have other options. They don't have to take somebody that will not talk to their community. That when their children go missing, they get this Snuggle Struggles treatment. No parent should be treated like this. No parent should have a lot of law enforcement arresting people or putting their blessed hands on a person for not breaking the law. And it's not just me. I'm not the only victim of Sumner County. We have articles of what they're doing on those DUI buses. What, you guys need extra money because you're too effing broke? I'm just asking. Because the rest of the world is seeing Eric Craddock do a piss poor job at his job and then ask for a raise? Where in society would that happen any other place but in a government position? I told them they were going to want federal funds. Did I not? Raise your hand if you heard me on this channel say they're going to want federal funds, and that's something I can tinker with. Something I have a lot of knowledge on. Something I can do in the dead of night. Causing problems is something I'm very, very good at, and people respect me across this country. Whether these hate channels do or not, I don't care. I don't respect them either. Just. Angie, it's nice to see you. Laura, Denise, it's good to see you. We do have, I saw Seth up in here. He might want to be leaving now that I'm bringing out the whip. I'm bringing down the hammer on Sheriff Snuggle Struggles. It might cause some problems. Oh, I'm so scared. I might get arrested for speaking. Oh, sorry. They already did that. Next is going to be for breathing, okay? They want to take my oxygen. They can't control my speech, but there's nothing in the Bill of Rights or our Constitution that says I have to breathe or they have to let me breathe. So now they're going to come after my air. You heard it here first on the Bullhorn Betty channel. You heard it here first. Tap Dancer Lizzie, it's nice to see you. It's me, Jen. Good morning. Claudette, good morning. Good morning. I'm on a roll. This is why I have to kind of leave because I feel some type of way about all these people in this case. There's just sometimes I just want to take the sheriff's department, just move them out of the way, right? Because they ain't doing shit anyways. Let's be honest. Where's the searches? We've heard all these cases. We've watched all these missing person cases, right? And what do we notice with all these missing person cases in the law enforcement in their area? They're searching. They're actually off their butts, out of their office, in the heat, out there in the woods, searching for these individuals like they're supposed to do, not sitting in an air-conditioned office like Brandon Carter is with his thumb up his ass. Hey, Brandon! Do you need me to remove the Velcro on your ass to get you outside? Sebastian's not in your office, bro. He's probably outside. So if you're not out there, you're failing at your blessed job. Brandon Carter, knock, knock. Can you hear me? Brandon! Good gracious. The boy ain't in your blessed office. Can we please get you at your office? Wake up, Brandon! Brandon Carter, TBI. If you haven't noticed, he's not in your office. He's not on your computer. He's not on the phone. If you're going to find this boy, you're going to have to put your ass in a vehicle and go somewhere and search for him. It's kind of how you find people. I'm sorry, Brandon. If you didn't realize that, maybe you should. Maybe you should. Big Mac Mike, it's nice to see you. Mike says, Chris and Katie and Don and Candace will never see a day in jail. Don is a frequent jail flyer, but just not for Summer Wells' disappearance. I agree with that. Big Back Mike up in the house. Marianne, it's nice to see you. Glad you caught wind of the pay raise bribe. Well, thanks to the Crime Time Buzz. Thank you, Jay, for this tidbit of information. But yeah, in my question, what? If I'm going to my boss, okay, let's just go through this, okay? I haven't always worked for myself. I have worked for myself for a significant portion of my life, but I haven't always worked for myself. I work for CPAs, I work for attorneys, I work for a lot of people. Mortgage companies. I made sure that wherever I went, I could be employable, okay? When I set myself up, because I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do with my life. So what did I do? I got into finance stuff. I got into insurance stuff. I got into medical stuff. I went for the top tier stuff. The stuff everybody needs, even when you're broke, even when the whole world is falling apart, you still need to have house insurance and car insurance and life insurance and health insurance, right? And good gracious, with all the tax changes, you need a CPA. You still have to pay the IRS. You still have to pay the government, no matter how broke you are. So I work for them. We all know everybody gets sick. We get sick and tired of paying those damn taxes. So I went into the medical field and decided to become a CPA or a CNA, and then an LPN, and then a phlebotomist. And then I didn't go into the work. I couldn't get licensed. I had just had a DUI. I couldn't get licensed, but I wasn't trying to. I was selling insurance. I went there for more educational practices. But it would have been good to say, hey, I'm an LPN. This is what we would do, But I didn't get that accreditation. And I found out that I was going to have to go work in a nursing home. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. So I made sure that when I set myself up, I had all the staples of society. So no matter what, if the whole world burns down, I'll be doing your taxes, okay? So you don't have anything to worry about. You'll be like the Grizzlies. Got Betty doing your taxes. You going in. They're going to take you. They're going to take you down. They're going to send the U.S. Marshals into your house, kick your door in, and arrest you because I did your taxes for you. That's what happened to the Grizzlies. Good gracious. Jen's Justice. I like that. Robini, it's nice to see you. Linda, Rod, Kaz, it's nice to see you. What's going on in the world today? Well, we're going to pray for it, but it looks like it's going to hell. And we're going to be going to church. Just saying. That's how it rolls. World's going to hell, we go to church. Laura Patty, it's nice to see you. West Virginia Holly girl. Hey. Who else do we have? Oh, no, Betty's home. I am home. Oh, sweet Melissa. The entire scenario of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a shit show, starting with these disgusting turds, in my opinion. Secondly, the investigator was the next major F-off. Zit should have been treated as a crime from the beginning. Absolutely. We've been screaming that from this. They screwed up the case. We are praying to God they didn't script the case so much that it causes problems, but it looks like they do because the sheriffs ran away from it, right? He won't even address his own constituents about a child missing in his community. He just basically tells them to F off and mind their own damn business. I can tell you, if you don't believe me, call Rick Wells. Call my sheriff and ask him if he talked to me like that, what would happen. What would happen if a sheriff in my flipping community, I have 500,000 people that live here, and I'm just one person, but I guarantee you ask Rick Wells, what the flip would happen if he did some type of shit like this to one of the families that I was working with? He wouldn't. He wouldn't. My sheriff knows better. My sheriff knows better. But don't ever underestimate the power of the people or the power of somebody giving them the power of the people. Because every time I go into the community, I inspire people. I give them more backbone than they had. I give them a path forward. No matter how we look at that, I do that. I said doo-doo. I said doo-doo. Hopefully my sound thing is working. Oh, we're getting down to everybody saying happy birthday to Lisa B. Always. I'm glad you feel love today, Lisa. I'm glad you feel the love. And you deserve it. You deserve it. You're a great part of our family. Missy Motormouth, she stole my name. Okay, she stole my name. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it, but she stole my name. But we'll take Missy Motormouth. I love you, buddy. You singing as bad as me. I intentionally sing. I actually have a decent voice. I really do. I'm actually almost ready to approach. I want to do a little single. I do. I think I want to take my karaokeing abilities to the next level, and I don't think of anybody else but Olivia, because Olivia is part of the singing crew. She knows how to make music and crap. You know, I got like the best of my best friend can like move mountains. Okay, literally on screen, she can take a mountain and move it. But I'm just joking. But she can take mountains and move them. And so I actually think it would be fun. I don't know. I think it would just give me a little break, you know, from the true crime stuff, you know, and let me do something that is a little different. I don't know what song I want to sing. I'm trying some different textures, so to speak. I do like I See Red. I don't know if you guys ever heard that song before, but if you haven't, go listen to it, because that's how I kind of feel some days. And I think that if I can get Olivia to set everything up and to build my sound, then you might have, who knows what the future may hold. We'll see. If people start moving out of that community, they already have. This case has caused, I know for a fact, at least one family with 2 households moved out of this county, specifically because of this case. Without a doubt. And if that's the case for this, and you know why they did it? Corruption. They had never seen such horrible display of corruption before. And they are very, very concerned. Uh-oh, did I freeze? Okay, what happened? Browser lost connection with my camera. How does it keep losing connection with my camera? Why? There we go. Okay, I'm back. And I'm gone again. And I'm back. And I'm gone again. No, I'm just joking. There has been, so they're going to be having, and from what I hear, there are a few of them. There are some people that just moved there. They're like, we found this place. They had the house we wanted. We came from a different state and we got here, and it's like, we're the new kids on the block, so we're keeping a low profile. Like, they're scared to live in their own community because they're scared they're going to be targeted by their corruption. That's, wow, Sumner County? That's not the name I'd want to have, especially publicly, especially on something like the Bullhorn Betty channel. I mean, today we only have 134 people in chat. Tomorrow we could have 2,000. Probably not the place you want to be. And that's what I don't understand with all these law enforcement. And listen, I get there are bad, horrible social media content creators. But what ends up happening is the good content creators, when you make statements about piss poor content creators, you bunch us all together. And then you have problems with us too. So I think they need to find a different approach and a different way to handle the social media aspect. Everybody knows social media is a problem. I really don't think that we need law enforcement every time warning people, be careful what you hear on social media. I think at this point, the disclaimer has been made across this country. We know there's piss poor content creators, there's good content creators, there's mediocre content creators, there's the good, the bad, the ugly, much like the law enforcement department. Yeah, bad apples, you got good people, and you got incompetent people. That's kind of how it is. And that's kind of how it is everywhere, really, in everything. We have the threes, like even in our what makes a horrible person. It's usually 3 items, right? Alcohol, substance abuse, or domestic violence in the home. It's one of those things. It's all of those things. It's a couple of those things. And that's the same way with just about everything. We have good, bad, and ugly in the law enforcement department. We got good, bad, and ugly on these social media platforms. We got good, bad, and ugly in just about everything we do. Why? Because we are human beings, okay? Some of us are wired okay. Some of us are wired great. And some of us are just, are missing a few of the screws and wires. And we have to remember that. And people that seem normal aren't always normal, The real me too. It's nice to see you, my love. Mr. and Mrs. E. It's nice to see you, love bugs. I hope you are doing well. I hope we have some good news on middle E. Sorry, guys, I'm moving some things around. It's going to drop because it just is what it is. StreamYard. Hopefully we'll come back up. We'll be back. We're fine. Okay. I'm going to try to keep my hands away from the equipment as much as possible because I am on StreamYard and it's much more. But listen to this. After I canceled my membership and gave them a mouthful, like they gave us opportunity to write, and I wrote everything very detailed on why I'm over the bullshit. And so this morning, when I came in here, because I naturally opened up StreamYard, not Restream, I'm still got to get, and what's going to end up happening is we're going to probably be, I did realize how to do my intro videos like we do here on this show. I need to pay for the service. It's not offered with the free Restream service. So what I'm going to end up doing is once my account, like this is the last month we're paying for StreamYard, and then I'll purchase probably in another, I don't know, within the next week, I'll be purchasing my account over on Restream, and then I'll have access to the intro videos, and we'll have a flow like we have here. It's just not on the free version. It's on the paid version. So we'll have it all set up much like we got here. We'll just have a lot of other stuff. But this is what they wrote when I came into StreamYard. It says studio instability issues. The latest version of some browsers, for example, every single browser but Safari, and it upsets me that it takes people leaving. Like they should have analytics and everything else behind the scenes for them to proactively identify any issues going on with their programming. But it takes people leaving and unsubscribing before they realize that they have an issue. So this is what it says. It says the latest version of some browsers, for example, every single one of them, Chrome, Edge, and Firefox, seem to have introduced a conflict that is causing studio instability when using virtual backgrounds, which you see behind me. This is a virtual background. Bullhorn Betty is a virtual background, or touch up my appearance. I really don't care whether you guys like my face or not. I'm not going to touch up my appearance. What you see is what you get, okay? So obviously it's this background here that is causing the problems with the instability and the dropping of all the services here. So as a temporary workaround, they asked me to turn off the background, which I'm not going to. Our engineers are actively working to ensure the support for the conflicting browser version. Well, I can tell you we've been having this conflicting browser version going on now for almost 2 years. And again, it took me because they have no customer support number I can call into. I'm tired. I spend $44 a month for this program, and I was paying over $80 a month for it and starting to get crap service. So I reduced my monthly, that's a lot of money. Okay. To run a show every day, $80. I'd pay more than that if I didn't have all these complications and had a lot more features than I do. But for what I get, that's a lot of money a month. A lot of money to have constant dropping, constant. When we were over on that, I went over and looked at the images of this program and Restream, and we came into crystal clear on Restream at 720p, and we can't even get that crystal clear on here at 820p. Even when I reduced it down to 720p on this side, it was still pixelated and not a good, crisp, clean image. Why am I paying $40 to $80 a month to have piss poor work? So we're going to be on Restream. I'm going to get that set up. I found enough of my intro videos that we're accustomed to make it work. So that's where we will be, and we're going to continue. And I have a lot of the other stuff like this. I don't know if you guys remember these from back in the day, if you've been with me, but I used to come swinging. You guys are going to love this one. Okay. If you guys laugh at this one, throw a 99-cent, blowy heart, but this is funny. This is some funny shit. Now you guys may have already watched this. If you're a preacher, it's Sunday. I'm sorry, but it's too funny not to. It's filled with profanity. So if you guys are not too overly offended by profanity, stick around. You guys are going to get a chuckle.
Let me tell y'all something. You ain't got to ever worry about getting nobody back for some shit they done did to you. Because quiet as it's kept, everybody working get paid. Let me break that down so you understand what I mean. Everybody working getting paid. See, some of you motherfuckers don't even know that you're working. But payday comes after a while, bitch. You being messy? You're working. You gossiping about people? You're working. You stealing, lying, cheating, or just all around doing some fuck shit? You're working. And payday is on its motherfucking way. Ha ha! Let me tell you something, you working motherfuckers. Some of you bitches got overtime in that bitch too. Ooh, that payout gonna be good. So when you get your check, bitch, don't complain. You worked for it.
And how so fitting, because we do have a lot of people that are working for it. Now, aren't they? I love that. So we have some of those that are there. I've got other ones like...
You are who you hang out with. They're not likely you're going to get too far away from your roommates. So if your 5 roommates are all shredded yogi instructors that drink kale smoothies, one of 2 things is likely happening. You're going to be the 6th, or you're getting new friends. If they're your best friends, that's going to happen. If all of your friends piss and moan about working and capitalism and being held to a standard, the chances that you're going to buck that trend for any length of time is very low. And one of 2 things will then happen. You will either become like them or you will get new friends. And that's not some elitist shit. It's just one of the ways we connect is through shared values. And you're going to have a really hard time being friends with someone closely whose values are wildly different than your own. Like, we like to say opposites attract, and it is true when it comes to personality, way less true when it comes to values. You're either going to surrender your values or you're going to surrender your set of friends.
Lots of education on here. We've got a few things. Oh, I like this one too. But we have them, and they're going to go over.
Successful people aren't successful because everything went their way. They're successful because they figured out a way to navigate through the shit, right? Life is not all easy. You're going to have shitty things happen to you. And I'm not speaking this over you. I just know from life experience, right? People are going to get sick. People are going to die. People are going to get divorced. People are going to be financially in ruin. Stressful things are going to happen. If you don't know how to navigate those things, if you can't figure out how to navigate those things and get to your outcomes anyway, life is going to be really fucking tough. And it gets bad because then you get into your late 30s and early 40s and we're talking and you become the woulda, shoulda, coulda guy.
I'm not going to be the woulda, shoulda, coulda guy because I do what I do. So we do have a lot of little videos and stuff like that we can take over to the new one. This was done on my old stuff, but I do have I've got every single box. I've got 5, 7, 19 terabytes of storage right now hooked up to my computer. 19 terabytes of video storage and everything else. It's getting crazy. Pretty soon we're going to have a whole room just for storage. Content takes a lot of data. There's no doubt about it. YouTuber, it's nice to see you. Nani, good morning. Good morning. Who else do we have up in here? We're already in here for an hour and I haven't even gotten through roll call yet. Rod, it's nice to see you. Blue Eyes, good morning. Good morning. But I kind of like it like this. You know, we get a chance to chit chat a little bit. Cinda, good morning. Chaos up in the house. I got to know VA's around the corner somewhere. Haven't seen him yet. Where is VA? Where is VA? VA, show yourself, damn it. No, I'm just joking. Melanie, there needs to be a new set of eyes on this. Yes, I agree. I agree 100%. New set of eyes. Even if they really wanted to, they could pull a new detective on the case. A fresh detective just to look over this. If they really wanted to show that they're doing something. But when I see law enforcement officers, excuse me, working a missing person case from their office, I have a problem with that, okay? I'm from the old school, shoe leather work, right? Knocking doors, bringing people in, shaking the trees, making people a little intimidated, sitting on their house, making sure they know you're watching them, shaking the flipping trees. Brandon Carter, get your head out of your butt and do your blessed job, please. Please don't listen to your boss. Do what you think is good for the case. There's something going on here. Why is this law enforcement body protecting the Proudfoots and the Bowersox so relentlessly and leaving an innocent father flapping in the wind? Flapping in the wind. Doesn't make any darn sense. Doesn't make any darn sense. Thank you, Cinda. Justice for Sebastian. There he is. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. Where is it? There it is. Is this one? Yeah, it's this one. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Cooper, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning. And Nani responds to Kaz and says, old Snuggle Struggle should be ashamed of himself. Let's read this. It's pretty darn bad when a state is known for a place to live. If a person wants to live, for a state to be known for, I know, if you want to lose a kid, go to Tennessee. I know it is, and they are getting that name. And you know what? It's awful. It's an awful name to have, and it doesn't really depict the entire state. But we've got problems in the state of Tennessee that nobody is wanting to address. And these issues that they have in these smaller counties are becoming festers, and they're becoming stains on the entire state because they have incompetence inside police departments. And you know what? The only way you're going to fix an issue is being honest about the issue. And the problem is the Bullhorn Betty channel has no problem saying there's incompetence. But until it's like an addiction, until they're ready to accept it, until they're ready to do something about it, us talking about it is doing absolutely nothing. But we are moving the needle because it's getting more people attention. I mean, we have more people looking at the state of Tennessee as a scary state than they are a beautiful state. And you know what? That's what we want for the time being. Because we need law enforcement and we need Congress more than anything. Congress to start doing stuff about these issues that law enforcement are having. We need infrastructure. What about the internet? Why aren't you guys working on public-private partnerships with internet companies to make sure your state has this infrastructure that can help and aid law enforcement? There are ways that we could be handling this stuff differently. Even if we didn't change the laws, just giving better tools and resources to law enforcement to close these cases, giving them an edge and something over these criminals that do terrible things to our most vulnerable of our population, the sick, the very young, and the very old. It's got to stop. And we need Tennessee's help. And that's why we are going to the governor's mansion to beg for some help, for him to get his Congress in line, for the Congress to hear our calls. We need help. Sebastian needs us. Sebastian needs us, but Sumner County is not off the hook. You know, I was going to go around Sumner County and just go straight to the governor's mansion and just go around them. But no, they're not getting off that easy. Absolutely not. We are coming back to Sumner County. We are coming back to Sumner County in style. We're coming back with signs, with bullhorns. We're going to do whatever. If I got to pay $150 for a permit, I'm going to. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, this sheriff has really given Seth a raw deal. He's given his community a raw deal. You know what? I would be terrified if my child disappeared in Sumner County, because look at the actions of the sheriff. You won't know anything, and they'll tell the whole world to F off, and you'll just be stuck without a child or without any knowledge of what happened to that child. That is piss poor policing. Piss poor. Panda's Bear's mom advocating for Devlin Tate. As many of you guys know, we cover him in part on here. We haven't taken a deep dive into his case yet. But Devlin Tate is 19 years old. He went missing from Lake Odessa in Michigan. And it's Ionia County. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I'm probably not. He was in a trailer park, caught on footage at Carl's Supermarket. Tourette's, he has Tourette's syndrome, ADHD, autism, fetal alcohol syndrome, and chromosome deletion syndrome as well. So we do have something that, you know, someone that does mimic some of the medical background of Sebastian Rogers Rogers. And it makes me wonder what happened to this young boy, 19 years old. But maybe we'll be able to break and dive into him just a little bit here over the next week or so, because I know Panda Bear's mom has been advocating viciously for this child, and we do support our family here. Suddenly, Sally, it's nice to see you. Outer Banks, good morning. Good morning, my love. Who else do we have? Tierra Lotta, hello. She says, hey, Betty, I live in a nearby town. Maybe it's like mine. If you leak running for sheriff, you're confronted to resign or fire. Anybody that runs for sheriff that is confronted by firing, please let me know immediately. If you find that out, and then this is not just for Sumner County or Tennessee. This is for any county or state across our country. Anything in the United States that is our territory, anything. If you hear something like that, please immediately send me an email. I will address it. I will address it, and I'll get it buttoned up very, very quickly. Nobody should be in fear of losing their job for running for office. And if I find out that is the most un-American thing that can ever happen, if I find out that happens, I will put a stop to it. That is something that I do have numbers to put a stop to immediately. So if you guys do hear that, we are coming up on 2026. We need to get really into our elections, guys. I'm here to help you. Okay. We need a better country. We need a better environment. I'm not going to take my personal viewpoints and inflict those upon you. I hope that, you know, we all can come together in unity on certain topics and certain avocations. But I definitely respect everybody's right to choose who their political party and who they want to represent themselves. And I take that. I value that process very, very, very much, and would never disrespect it or disrespect anybody executing their right to that process. So this goes for all sides of the aisle. It's not just Republican, conservative, or anything. This is for everybody. If you truly are looking into your politicians and you want to make a good decision for 2026 or 2028 elections, because I am so passionate about this and about making change, I will do legwork for you. If you don't know who to choose, if you're conflicted, send me an email and tell me what your confliction is. I will review it. I will explain it to you, and I will let you know what because sometimes it's a give and take. You have two politicians here, okay? There are certain things that this politician you like, but there are certain things you dislike about this politician. And the same be true for this politician. So now you have two politicians that you're looking at, right? And both of them have great things about them and bad things about them. So how do you choose which one is right for you? Those are the things that I'd like to help you with in 2026 and 2028. Okay, so I'm here for you. Use me as a resource. Again, I'm not going to put my own personal bias in guiding. I will look at the information and look at what you're trying to accomplish and see if either one of those candidates meet your goal or which one of them meets more of your goal than the other. And sometimes it might just be like that. You like two people, but one meets your needs more than the other politician meets your needs. So please use this channel as a resource. We have people from all over the country in here. You might even find a neighbor or somebody in your own community as you're looking through these. So we want to be helpful in 2026 and 2028. And why am I doing this? Because I'm sick of people like Eric Craddock. Okay, I've never offered this to anybody. I personally am a conservative, so I want to see my people get through because I feel like they identify with my way of thinking, my how I would handle business. It's just a whole host of things. But even me, I make the wrong decisions sometimes. So we want to get a little bit better because we need to clean this up. If we don't want this continuing happening around our country, we need to start stepping up and getting people with the know. Like I'm going to be going into Sumner County and with groups that don't know how to do it or need an edge on how to do certain things a little bit better. I'm going to be there to help them. I'm going to start going out to the Republican executive committees and their local groups there, the Republican groups there, and see if we can start pitching and finding a new sheriff and showing them how to properly phone bank, door knock, really be advocates for their politicians. Flyers, how to get around flyers. Horrible politicians get a lot of backing because they support terrible policies like builders and construction and developers. Those people, they have to pay fees to build, right? And sometimes our county doesn't make them pay their fair share. So the rest of the money has to come from the taxpayers. I'm anti that. Okay. And so developers put those big shiny postcards, they help fund these politicians that are going to keep them paying less than they're supposed to. So you've got that. So you need to rise above those mailers. You need to rise above those names. And the only way you're going to do that is real shoe leather work, getting out there, getting in the trenches, door knocking, explaining the differences between one politician to the other politician. And that I'd like to help any community that is willing to have me help. Sumner County is on my list. They didn't ask me to help, but we're going to help anyways because they need it. And I was negatively affected by being in that community under their current leadership. So I have a vested interest in making sure that never happens to another soul in that community again. All right, guys. So let's get on. We went through, I think I've said hi to everybody. We spent an hour kind of catching up. If I missed you guys, I'm super, super sorry that I missed you. Good morning to all of you. Let's go through here just real quick. It says that deserves a super chat. Thank you all. Lisa, thank you so much. Melanie says, happy Sunday, Betty, Delilah, mods, and chat. I hope everyone is doing well and happy birthday, Lisa. Aw, it's so sweet. Cinda says, justice for Sebastian. Hey, Jude, I didn't even see you in here. Looky. It's nice to see you, my love. Hey, Jude reminds us, Sebastian's Army. I've been tagged. Wrong. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I've been tagged. I'm official. I've been branded Sebastian's Army. I've been branded Sebastian's Army. And the real me too says Sebastian's armies are not quitters. We're not quitters. And it's just one of those things where we just needed to regroup and get some things. But now we're back to the races. This is going to be a case that goes outside of our norms. I'm usually with a case for about a year. We're already almost to a year and a half in this case. And we're just now getting our second wind on how we're going to handle this case because we've been put kind of on a shelf for a moment because of all the lies and corruption in Sumner County that has absolutely infringed on my ability to move freely, protect myself, my First Amendment constitutional rights. They violated my civil rights and my Bill of Rights. So at this point, Sumner County needs to sit down and shut the hell up. And I mean that. So what I'd like to see is them just hand the case over and they can get Bullhorn Betty and Sebastian's army just out of their hair and just be done with it, you know, and then they won't even have to worry about the, I'm still going to set up groups in their community. The sheriff, you're done. I'm going to tell you that. And once I get you pulled from that sheriff's thing, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to take everything that you've done. I'm going to FOIA it. And if I have to go to court and have a court order to get it, I will. And then I'm going to make sure you're never sheriff anywhere in this country. Ever. And after that, when you go to bed at night and you're blowing bubbles and those bubbles have BHB written in the middle of them, maybe you should tell the next sheriff that wants to step on my toes and violate my rights when I have committed no crimes. Shame on you. And I pray to God, until you are removed, more cuts come to your department. Just saying. Just saying. All right, guys. So now let's get on to the information. As many of you guys know, Sebastian Waindrake Rogers was 15 years old when he disappeared from his home at 1008 Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And accordingly, the corrupt sheriff that are buddy-buddy with the Proudfoots came out there, and of course they didn't think the parents could possibly do anything to their medically needy child, so they went ahead and proceeded with this case as a missing person. As a missing person, despite all of the revelations. 1008. Was that 1008 Stafford Court? I'm pretty sure that's what was in the newspaper. Again, I like public records. I like public records. I think we're going to have this up here while I talk about this case. So we have a child that disappeared from his home. Listen, I've been pondering this, and I don't know. You know, we need to resolve one major issue in this case up front that we've never resolved this entire time. When this case first started breaking, many of us thought Chris Proudfoot was at his house. He was at the 1008 Stafford Court property with his wife, Katie Proudfoot, Katie Lynn Payne Proudfoot. And Payne, according to public records. Katie, Katie, Lynn, Lynn, Payne, Payne, Proudfoot, Rogers, Rgers, Proudfoot. We want to make sure that we have her name correct. So any type of transcript picks up her entire full name. So if they are working to, maybe look for a job or something, we want to make sure that they know who Katie Lynn Payne Rogers Proudfoot is. She's a mother that most likely murdered her son. Sorry, Seth. I know you hate me saying that. But I'm going to keep picking. So we want to make sure that if anybody, and I just want to let you know, Brinks, I did cancel my security service with you after I found out you hire murderers and keep them on your books. Alleged murderers. We want to make sure we have an accurate depiction of the, Brian Kohberger was an alleged murderer too. I just want to remind everybody that, Brian Kohberger was an alleged murderer. He is no longer an alleged murderer. He is just a murderer. He is just a murderer. So it's been a little while since I covered this case, but what we learned is that Katie Proudfoot allegedly was home with Sebastian all by herself. Chris wasn't there. But somebody brought up something to me, and I want to go over this because it has been significant. Why were they so adamant at the very beginning of this case to make sure everybody knew, more than anything else, If you go back to those initial interviews, they were adamant to make sure Chris wasn't there. They wanted to make sure everybody, it wasn't about Sebastian. Remember that. It should have been. Like, who was home at the time should be the most insignificant part of these initial interviews. It should have all been about Sebastian. But it wasn't. It was about making sure everybody knew Christopher Proudfoot was not in that home when he disappeared. Why? Why? I mean, look at it like this. Everybody would have eventually found out that he wasn't there, right? Because, he works at St. Jude's. It would have come out. They would have focused on Sebastian, just trying to get stuff out to Sebastian. Sebastian, this, that. We never heard Sebastian's name. That was the craziest part about it. We barely heard. Chris and Katie didn't say Sebastian's name. It was the interviewers that were talking about Sebastian. They wouldn't say his name. And the one thing that they did, and they wanted to make sure, and they kept saying it over and over again at those initial, because they said it so much that everybody believed that he was there. You guys remember that? They were making such a big deal that Chris wasn't there that everybody just assumed he was there the entire weekend. You guys remember that? The question is, why were they pointing that out? Now, we do know that he allegedly wasn't there. He was supposed to be over in Mississippi at the Horn Lake, Mississippi. But why, if the evidence was going to reveal that, why were they so adamant to make sure everybody knew that up front? It's because Chris knew he came back to that house. And if people found out he came back to that house, everybody would know. We do believe he came back to the house. The timeline, they've messed up. This is the problem I have. And the shit work that corrupt Sumner County is doing. The CCP, the Chinese Party, the Chinese Communist Party of Tennessee. Chinese Communist Party. My virtual background back. It's not giving me a virtual background. There it goes. So anyways, we're going to do some more fact checking. And of course, it's Lauren from Facebook is on here. And one of the first things, this is something we've seen it several times. Okay. And it is, let me check the virtual back. I wonder if it'll help my quality. Hold on a second. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Let me just check and see if it'll help my quality of the thing just by turning it off. My office is a mess, so what? And it still didn't help. So I have no virtual background, which it said is causing the conflict, the instability conflict. I'm showing instability. Connection is fairly good. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging it into your router or moving closer to it. My Wi-Fi is right behind that big thing right there. That thing that says believe in the possibilities and the coffee thing. My Wi-Fi's, I don't think I can get any closer to my Wi-Fi than I am right now. So again, it's not the background. I just verified it's not the background, and I don't put stuff on my face. Like I said, I could care less. What you see is what you get. Some days I'll have the makeup on and my hair done. It's usually on interview days. But the rest of it, you know what? When I'm not on here, I'm researching and I'm usually out in the yard doing yard work. Okay. I'm not putting makeup on to go sweat it and have it in my eyes in just a few hours. Okay. We're trying to get the outside fixed up. I'm leaving. I'm moving out of this house. Okay. At some point in the next 6 months to a year, I'm out of here. Okay. I've made the decision. I'm selling the house. And it's time for me to move on. And that's kind of where I am. So, well, I'm getting the yard fixed. I'm taking down the rest of the wood fence. I'm putting some stuff in storage. I've got to put some baseboards up around in this office and paint the house. I think I'm just going to paint the inside of freaking bright, white baseboards and maybe an off-white, color. Take all the green off the walls. If you guys haven't seen this, Take my virtual background off. Take the green off the walls, make it like a I don't know, like an antique white, just like a little yellowish hue to it. So it's off the baseboard. Like you can see the base. It's not like all bright white. You have the bright white baseboards and that step tone. So I'm going to be painting the entire house inside and out. I'm keeping the same colors outside, gray, white, and exotic sea. And I'm putting the gate back up, not my wood gate, but I actually had the chain link gates that go up. So I've got to do some minor repairs to the fence. I'm not even fixing the floors in the house. I'm selling it as is, leave it to the next people that buy it. I'm going to take whatever loss it needs to take to give them credit for the flooring. I'm done. That's it. I'm going to fix a couple spots. I got a couple drywall spots that my husband messed up when he repaired them that I've got to take out, which is going to be a dusty, just a freaking mess, especially the one in the kitchen. And get that fixed up. Once I get that fixed up, you know what? It is what it is. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to start the next I'm ready to start old ladyhood, okay? I'm ready to turn 50. I'm a few years from 50, right? I'm ready to turn 50, and I'm ready to get in my I don't give a shit mood and life and start rocking it out, right? I'm ready to start, getting in the bikinis again. I've been in these takinis and stuff, and it's like, I'm almost turning 50. I got stuff hanging in everywhere. Who cares? I'm ready to live. I'm ready to live. I'm suffocated by my husband in this house, my ex-husband. And quite frankly, I barely even go into the room he resided in. I use half of my house. It's time to cut. It's time to move on, right? It's time to move on. I'm ready. I'm ready. I got 4 years. Like my 46th birthday is coming up in September. I've got 4 years to get my shit together so I can be the raging lunatic 50-year-old bullhorn Betty I can frickin' be. And you know what? I got some training that needs to happen here. Okay, I'm going to be 50 crazy lunatic Betty training. I don't know what that quite looks like. I guess we'll find out as time goes on. From what I hear, it can be a flip of a coin. I might be here with my face full of tears. I might be here with flames coming out of my ears. From what I hear, I guess I got to wake up and flip a coin and figure out what kind of Betty it's going to be after 50. So we'll see how this works. Exes always suffocate from afar. I know. I'm actually happy that the backyard, when those trees came down in the backyard, my backyard was done. It's taken almost a year to even, I'm still not finished with the stuff from the hurricane, and it's been a year. I still have a lot of stuff to drag out of the backyard, like the fencing that fell, that's been covered up by leaves and everything, but it's taken a long time to unearth it because I had a shed, a huge 20 by 20 shed that was obliterated, and everything was strung across the yard. And you're talking about big items, chainsaws, paint sprayers, pressure cleaners. I mean, big ticket items that were tossed like a redheaded stepchild throughout my yard that needed to be fixed or picked up, unearthed, then picked up. And so now I'm in the process of getting all the equipment that I just unearthed repaired. And it's costing an arm and a leg to get my equipment repaired because it's been filled with water. It's been rained on. It's things need new carburetors, new fuel lines, the dry rot, just stuff from being out there for a year uncovered and in the weather. So it's costing me an arm and a leg to get my equipment back up and running. It's equipment that I might use, but I may eventually sell. The pressure cleaner, I think I'll keep, but my paint sprayer, once I'm done with this house, I'll probably sell. I don't foresee me painting another house because the house I'm going to, whichever one I buy, is going to be move-in ready. I'm not getting a fixer-upper, or I don't want nothing to do with it. I want to move in. I want a move-in ready home. I might even go to Ruskin and just buy a new one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but One thing I don't like is payments. So I'm moving out of my area because I can, whatever I make off this house, I'm taking it all and purchasing a new house, a nicer house with the same amount of money. That's why I'm moving, because I want a nicer house, but I don't want monthly payments. So I'm buying a free and clear house wherever I move. Senior discount, Betty. Wait a minute. Hey, don't push me. I'm just now. I've got 10 more years. Okay. Well, 9 more years and a couple months. Okay. 55 is the senior discount. Okay. Don't push it. All right, VA. Don't make me smack you. Just saying. These damn senior discounts. I'm talking those damn senior discounts. All right, let's get back on to what we're all here for. So this kind of comes back to all of the gunk that we were talking about when it comes to the Sebastian Rogers case, because there's a lot of things I don't agree that law enforcement did. They never tailed Christopher Proudfoot. They never tailed him. When he went and left for 24 hours, they did not have a law enforcement tail. Why? Why didn't you do your blessed jobs? That's all I want to know. And Sumner County will not answer those questions because they're too busy hiding behind the integrity of the investigation. Well, you're about to integrity your investigation slap into a lawsuit, because I can tell you that there's only going to be so much before people start rising up and demanding the courts turn over those investigative files to PIs if you're going to sit on your ass and do absolutely nothing. And trust me, I know you're probably in your backwoods in your Barney Fife little back office, and you're probably saying, oh my God, they can't do that. Watch. There's a lot of things that you fuckers said I couldn't do that I did. Get off your butts, get out in those woods, and start searching for Sebastian Rogers. That's what we want. I was ready to move on from this case. I'm ready to move on from this case. I'm ready for this case to be closed. I'm ready for Seth to either have his son or know what happened to his son. It seems like we are the only ones that have that common goal. Our goals do not match that of law enforcement, which is to protect Chris and Katie and the Bowersox. Those atrocious felons. Alleged felons. Gotta make sure I put that allegedly. Allegedly. But Sumner County, all they did was give me some playing room to figure out how I was going to address their county while they kept me out of their county for a year. You will never be able to keep me out of your county of Sumner. I will be coming back. I will be coming back. Not only will I be coming back, but I'll be coming back with a shit ton of body cameras. And I swear to God, you step on my toes, you violate my rights, I will go straight to court and get injunctions. And if your courts don't want to give me injunctions, I'll go over their heads again. So we're going to go back to Sumner County. We're going to fight for Sebastian, and we're going to get out in those woods and actually search, because law enforcement doesn't seem to know how to do it. And I really don't care. Get your trespassing book ready. Get your fines ready. Get your handcuffs ready. Betty's coming back, and I don't know if I'm going to be trespassing or not. And you know what? I really don't give a shit. How about that? At least this time, when you guys do put the cuffs on me, you'll actually have a crime that Bullhorn Betty has committed, other than speaking. I will not go to the Proudfoot's home or sneak on their property or go on their property. I don't need to. I have an idea of where I want to search, and it has nothing to do with them. It has places they've been. Most likely with Sebastian. So, on the 3rd, May 3rd.
We were there on
when Chlamydia, when she used to stalk the Proudfoots, when it was okay to drive by homes and record from your vehicle, which it's still legal, Sumner County lost their shit and violate people's rights. But that's okay. We're going to school them and we're going to retrain them. Sumner County, when you get retrained, just remember, that's the courtesy of the Bullhorn Betty Show. You're welcome. And you need it.
3/3. March 3rd, whatever.
Nothing. So where was Chris? He says this is the day he went back and got his camper. Well, lo and behold, Chlamydia is driving by and there's no camper on the 3rd. So where did he go? And why didn't law enforcement tail him? Because I believe he went back with some people from his family. Because I'm noticing this in the last few cases we've covered. It looks like there's a dump site number 1, a dump site number 2, and sometimes the final resting place. Sometimes dump site number 2 is the final resting place. So now it is my belief, without a doubt, that Sebastian Rogers has been moved more than one time. More than one time. More than one time. So here is where I have a problem. This is from Sumner County. This is from, good gracious, Jay. What, I can't even think of her. I just said her channel's name and I can't for the life of me. Let me back this up. Good gracious. Crime Time Buzz. Oh my goodness. It just did not want to come out of my mouth. I'm so sorry, Crime Time Buzz. It did not want to come out of my mouth. So this is courtesy of Crime Time Buzz. We're only going to be listening to, I think, the first 2 or 3 minutes. If you guys would like to watch the entire thing, I'm going to drop the link here for you guys to watch the entire. I know that many of you guys, I had this sent to me by at least 5 or 6 of you. So I know that this was important to you guys to discuss, and I wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to discuss it.
When you think you can't be shocked anymore by Sumner County Sheriff's Office's Sheriff, Eric Craddock, and I'm referring to the silence through the international kidnapping and trafficking ransom demand this past week. No response, no action.
If you guys are wondering, and you guys don't watch Crime Time Buzz that often, or you didn't catch this, so what is she referring to? There was a ransom demand for Sebastian Drake Rogers that the Sumner County Sheriff's Office has totally disregarded. They haven't looked into it. They haven't done anything with it. It's a ransom demand for a missing child that's been missing for a year, and they do nothing. And then he goes to ask for a raise. For what? Piss poor work? As a matter of fact, I think a demotion, a pay decrease is in order here. I'm working on it, folks. I promise you, I'm working very hard. Very, very hard. Cuts happen all the time. Just saying. Cuts happen all the time.
No comment to the public, who is scared now because they heard he didn't respond to get involved, and they heard words like what could be going on. They're afraid. No public statement to the locals, no statement whatsoever for the inaction. Nothing, not a word. No fighting for Sebastian. But I'll tell you who he was fighting for. Rather than responding, reacting, explaining, getting involved, on July 2nd, he may have called, but he was at and speaking a special called budget meeting. And that meeting was to fight for a raise for himself. The raises have been taken away from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office this year, coming up with the new budget. And those raises only go to the senior staff of Sumner County, of the Sheriff's Office. Indeed, he is the senior staff.
Senior staff. Not the hardworking men and women that make this piece of shit look good. Him. He thinks he deserves a raise for telling his entire community to go F off. Have you lost your mind, Sheriff Snuggle Struggles? Have you lost your blessed mind? You are a disgrace to the badge, dude. A disgrace. A disgrace. You don't deserve a raise. And actually, it should have been a hell of a lot more than $200 million taken from your budget. It's kind of insulted, but happy. But happy.
Don't know who else is, but he is one of them. So he went on July 2nd and fought for his raise. And it only affects the sheriff's office and the EMA, the senior staff. He went there July 2nd and spoke.
So that Widener guy and Craddock were the ones that were seeking the raise. Widener probably does deserve it. I like Widener. I still think he's a good old boy. I don't like that. I have no problem telling Mr. Widener to go F himself, just like I have no problem telling this Sheriff Snuggle struggles or anybody in Sumner County to go F themselves.
And fought for a raise instead of ever addressing the constituents who are supposed to pay that raise. Never letting them know what's going on around them, what's going on about the ransom that he didn't address, why he didn't address it, their safety, nothing. Nothing to...
I think we should do our event in Sumner County based on corruption. I think we'd have a lot more support from other people that are dealing with the same things, even that rapper and stuff like that. I think our should be Sebastian absolutely but I think it should be Sebastian and the corruption in Sumner County, because the corruption is affecting more people than just Sebastian's case. And I think that would garner a lot more attention. But we definitely need to do something. Like I said, they've only paused the inevitable. I'm coming. It's just a matter of the date and time. I'm coming. And I'm doing it lawfully and legally. And I'm going to make this statement to Sumner County and your judges. What the hell are you going to do to me for following the law? Because I follow it. Follow it to a T. Dot my I's, cross my T's. I said that on a public that you guys wanted to display in court. I'm going to say it here again. What the hell are you going to do to me when I follow the law and execute the law perfectly? Because that's what I did the first time when you arrest me, and that's what I'm going to do when I bring 100 people to your front door. And I am going to do that. We are going to make a demonstration in Sumner County. It's just the time and place. I know where the place is. It's just the date and time, I should say. The place is going to be in front of it's going to stretch from the courthouse to Sumner County Sheriff. We're going to line those roads. We're going to have our signs. We're going to be demanding something happen in the Sebastian case, and we are going to demand that the corruption ends. And we are going to explain the corruption in that county, and we're going to do it. And I really don't care if mainstream media is out there. We have our own platforms, dude. We have our own platforms. We reach a hell of a lot more people and a more broader audience than just Sumner County. That's the beauty of social media.
Fight for Sebastian. Nothing to speak for Sebastian, but he sure got himself there at a special called budget meeting to fight the cut of his salary, his side salary. Let's look at it. This is Crime Time Buzz. We are here for entertainment purposes only. I am speculating based on things that are out in the media. I am shooketh. I am shocked. I was there firsthand through that whole ransom thing. I am absolutely shooketh that this is what he was worrying about and not a child's life.
Well, that is indicative of Sheriff Snuggle struggles. Sheriff Snuggle struggles, you get the coveted corrupt sheriff award courtesy of the Bullhorn Betty channel. And we are happy to revoke that. You know what it's going to require? It's going to require you stepping down and you telling your officers to get out of the office and actually go look for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He's not in the sheriff's office. I can guarantee you, Sheriff Snuggle struggles, that Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is not sitting in the Sumner County Sheriff's office right now. Okay? That means if your asses are still in the office, you ain't doing your job. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers deserves to be found. He deserves to be reunited with his father. He deserves to be stripped of ever having to see those pieces of shit he had to call mom and stepdaddy, Mr. Chris. We want to make sure that that day never happens. But we definitely want Seth to know where his son is, what happened to his son. And it's time for us to finally take this bullshit to their front doors. It's time. What have they done? They've done nothing. They've done nothing to advance this case. Sumner County is the only person obstructing this case. We want the FBI to get involved, and we want the U.S. Marshals. We want the U.S. Marshals. And for the love of God, lift the gag on Nick the Hat. Why the hell can't he talk about this case? It's time for us to start petitioning the probation or parole out there. Like, what the hell are they doing violating this man's First Amendment rights? We need Nick. We need Dog. We need all hands on deck. Whether we get along or don't get along, we do have a goal in mind, and that's to bring Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers home, and that needs to be our focus. The hell with Sumner County? They haven't done shit, and they damn sure don't deserve a raise. They don't deserve a raise. I'm glad to hear that the campaigning I've been doing behind the scenes appears to be working. I can't say that it is all me. It could just be budgetary cut. It just could be a coincidence. It could be a coincidence. But at the end of the day, they just got $200 million taken away from them. I'm happy to take more. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So God bless each and every one of you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. We will continue to keep advocating as we advocate. I am not just a pretty face on this screen. I can promise you that. And hopefully Sumner County is starting to feel some of that. It took a little while. I'm praying to God it's from my efforts. We'll find out. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. God bless each and every one of you, and we will be back after church. Get your butts over to church, because we need some Jesus. We need some Jesus. And Bullhorn Betty was without Jesus last week because I was out there advocating, doing God's work, but it makes me all kinds of funky. I cuss a little more. I'm a little more raw. I'm a little more frustrated. I'm a little more angry with the world. But when I get my dose of Jesus, it's like my distemperament shot. It's my weekly distemperament shot. It calms the bets down. It calms the bets down. All right, we'll see you soon. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.